In this video, I'm practicing watercolor by following a book I bought months ago. This is gonna be my painting process as a beginner, learning things as I go through and self-evaluate myself in the end. I'm using a nearly rotten green apple for my reference because I wanted to paint by looking at real stuff instead of a picture. From observing something in real life, I found I can see the details more clearly and experience it beforehand, if that makes sense. Okay, first I'm lightly sketching a green apple with a 2B uni pencil. I try to make it really light so it's easy to erase and isn't gonna bleed when touched with water. This is easily a problem in watercolor painting for me in the past, so I practiced drawing in pencil with little to no pressure for about 2 months. This is a big accomplishment for me because in the past I tend to add so much pressure in sketching that it becomes messy and indecipherable. But sketching lightly allowed me to organize my thoughts and make precise, decisive lines that look intentional. And also, I got this advice from Ethan Becker's videos. Go check it. He has a lot of tutorial videos and he's so funny. And one more thing I'm conscious about is the balance and proportions of the apple. As I see the apple, its dent is about 1/4 of the whole apple. So I tried to apply that to my sketch and it makes it feel real in my opinion. And also, I recommend doing still life sketches. I've only done 4, a red apple, a red mug cup, a wine glass and a green apple, and completed 3, but I improved so much in many ways. It's amazing. It's also very therapeutic. I can do it without music, to be honest. Maybe I'm gonna make a video about it in the future, so stay tuned, I guess. Then the next is the painting process. I honestly didn't know how to start painting this. I was nervous I'll ruin the apple because I don't have a talent in painting, especially watercolor. So in my limited experience with watercolor, I learned that the water I lay down on the paper dries first after I mix the colors because it takes me a really long time to mix the color I want. I really wanted to do that, but in reality, I did lay the water first and then mix the color of the apple, so yeah. Okay, back in the painting process. First is laying the base colors. I hurriedly mixed the green and yellow part of the apple and I tried to make it muted, neutral, but a bit vibrant. I don't know if I succeeded though. And I noticed pros mix a large amount of paint, so I did too, because I cannot create a similar color when it's all used up. And when that's done, I dip my brush fully to soak up plenty of paint, and then reduce the extra on my rag. I don't know why I do that, but I do. So, and then I lay the paint down, the green on the apple, while having the lightest point and yellow part unpainted. While it's still wet, I also lay down yellow paint for the yellow parts of the apple and let the paint bleed through the shadow reflecting on the paper. The second thing I did was paint the darkest part of the apple. This part I truly struggled. Even if I was looking at a real apple, I couldn't figure out if the shadows were a different color than black because all I see is black. So I went in with a muted dark green to match the base color. When it dried, it looked like something was missing. Then I made a violet blue color to darken the darker parts, but it turned kind of sickly. And then before I knew it, I mixed brown paint and then laid it onto the apple. And in conclusion, my thought process went into chaotic mode and messed up. I did the same thing with the shadow of the apple reflecting on the paper. It doesn't look good. I don't know, maybe it's because I laid down so much paint in one sitting while it was wet, so I think it looked like that and the color didn't mix. I don't know. I still have a lot to learn. The last thing I did was details. I felt like a brown color would be great for popping the green color of the apple, so I made it my background color. But now that I look at it again, it doesn't pop out that much, so I should have made it, I don't know, an opposite color like red or maybe pink. Around the lightest part though, I colored it yellow and green to make it a bit softer with my color pencils. Just a tad bit of color. And I also put some details in the dent. But I messed up. Didn't go as I thought, as you can see clearly. And then lastly, I outlined the shape of the apple with my brown color pencil to emphasize it. All the paint dried, I self-evaluated myself. I feel like this is an important thing for me to do because I am learning by myself, and if you had friends or if you're in an art club or in an art class, you could talk about your paintings with someone, but in my case, it's only me, so I think it's really important to reflect, see my own art in a different way, so I can improve in the future. So from the art book I read, there's a part where the author puts some questions to ask yourself after viewing your finished painting. So rather than self-evaluation, I think it's a reflecting time for our own art. There were basically 8 questions, and I'm going to share my answers with you. By the way, this book is in Japanese, so sorry if my translations are weird in English. So, question number 1. How did you draw the light and shadows? Were you aware of the light? My answer is yes. The results of my still life drawing practices were visible to me. I can say that it's well proportioned and balanced. I think based on my skill level right now. Question number 2. How did you draw the details? Was there a part where you specifically want to draw something? My answer is no, I didn't draw that much details because I want the painting to be really, really simple. And there was specifically a thing that I wanted to draw, and that was the shadows. Question number 3. Do you have a color in mind that you want to improve? That's the color of the shadows. Because it's hard to make a natural shadow that looks realistic, that feels real. So I'll be working on that. Question number 4. What was the theme of your painting? Did you think of the theme until the end? Or did you find something in your painting? My answer is, my theme is a nearly rotten green apple. And what I found in my painting was that the paint won't run through the water that much. So I'll be working on that too. Question number 5. What did you think of the composition? Did the painting turn out to be your intended composition? My answer, I think so. Because I wanted to draw the apple as the way I see it, so I think I've succeeded in that one. I think. Question number 6. What part did you paint well? Mine was the shape of the apple, the background, the way I painted the background, and the reflected shadow, even though the color is meh. It's mid. Question number 7. Is there a motif or a depiction of the flow in time in your painting? Or is there something in your painting that feels like there's motion? None! Because it's just an apple sitting on top of a paper. And question number 8. Are there signs of life in your painting? I don't know. Maybe the highlight of the apple, maybe the color of it. It looks like it's nearly rotten or currently rotting. I don't know. But I think that's it. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something, even a bit. And you can also use my self-evaluation questions for you to self-evaluate or reflect in your art. See you in the next video. Bye.